Engineers are now scaling a country of geniuses inside massive data centers, an autonomous intelligence that operates with a complexity and speed that moves beyond the conversational software we use today. We saw the first undeniable proof of this acceleration in April 2026, when the Mythos preview model fixed more software security bugs in a single month than human developers had achieved in the entire previous year combined. Because this model can write and debug code at that scale, it is inherently a dual-use technology. A system that can secure a network can just as easily autonomously discover and chain together software vulnerabilities to act as a self-improving cyberweapon. The nation that reaches this frontier first will possess the ultimate geopolitical leverage, securing the power to dictate the terms of global security for decades to come. Historically, the reach of any authoritarian regime has faced a hard physical limit. Repressing millions of people requires a massive army of human enforcers to monitor, report, and act. Frontier AI completely removes that friction. It gives a centralized state the power to automate pervasive biometric surveillance, tracking and censoring citizens at a scale that human operators simply could never achieve. The Chinese Communist Party is already moving to integrate these systems into their military. Their explicitly stated goal is the intelligentization of their armed forces, using AI to close the capabilities gap and eventually surpass the United States. The rate of AI advancement means democracies have a very narrow window, likely only 12 to 24 months, to lock in a commanding technological lead before these threats materialize on the global stage. Right now, democracies are winning this race. The reason comes down to physical hardware, thousands of physical servers grouped together into what the industry calls compute. You cannot train a transformative AI model without continuous access to massive quantities of the most advanced, highly specialized microchips on Earth. To protect this supply chain, lawmakers have enforced strict bipartisan export controls. These policies actively block the CCP from purchasing top-tier chips or the complex equipment required to manufacture them. This chart compares the estimated hardware resources available to both nations. Because of these trade restrictions, the United States currently maintains a towering 11-to-1 compute advantage over China's AI sector. This physical constraint on hardware remains the single most effective defense democratic nations have against authoritarian parity in AI. Yet, despite that massive hardware deficit, AI labs in China are operating dangerously close to the intelligence capabilities of top American models. They are closing the gap by bypassing the embargoes. Advanced chips are continually smuggled and diverted across borders through hidden, illicit international supply chains. There is also a massive digital loophole. Chinese firms simply rent remote access to export-controlled chips housed in Southeast Asian data centers, circumventing the physical bans entirely. The most effective tactic is a distillation attack. Foreign actors create thousands of fraudulent accounts to harvest the outputs of a U.S. frontier model. They feed these responses directly into their systems, free-riding on American R&D to rapidly clone its capabilities. By leaving these legal and digital loopholes open, the U.S. effectively subsidizes authoritarian technological growth, actively nullifying its own strategic hardware advantage. This leaves us facing two distinct scenarios for the year 2028. If the United States chooses inaction, leaving these loopholes open, the CCP will reach near parity with American AI capabilities. Enter that scenario. China will dominate global infrastructure with subsidized, cheap data centers, allowing them to export their model of techno-authoritarianism across the global south. The alternative is a future driven by decisive action. By fiercely defending its compute advantage now, the U.S. can lock in a commanding 12 to 24-month technological lead. In this future, democratic AI systems power the primary tools for medicine, invention, and economic growth, ensuring the international order is anchored in civil liberties and privacy protections. A neck-and-neck race pressures companies to rush releases and skip crucial safety testing. A commanding democratic lead, however, provides the breathing room and the leverage needed to enforce global safety standards. Securing that lead requires immediate policy shifts. Lawmakers must increase enforcement budgets to intercept chip smuggling and rewrite the laws to officially close the foreign data center loopholes. We also need strict legal and technological penalties for distillation attacks to permanently sever the CCP's backdoor access to American intellectual property. On the international stage, administration initiatives are already promoting the strategic export of the American AI technology stack to outcompete China on both global adoption and cost. These geopolitical stakes directly tie into the safety mission of organizations like the Anthropic Institute. Researching risks and protecting society is truly only possible when democracies operate from a position of unassailable strength. Winning the compute race is the prerequisite to everything else. It is how we ensure that this technology serves human agency, rather than powering automated oppression.